Hi, writers. Welcome to our final Bend and Baby literary essay. And this time we're going to be talking about how writers take up debate positions to argue with passion. What's a debate? So, a debate is when two people who have different opinions come together and they talk through it. So, you might debate with your friends what's the best sport? Football? Basketball. You might debate what's the best season? Winter, spring, summer, fall. And it's important that you acknowledge things on both sides of the debate. So let's take a look at how we're going to do this with our books. This is what you need to know. One way writers try out powerful claims is through debate. To do this work, writers make an argument, take different sides of the argument, and then try to defend their positions passionately. So here's some questions that might help you in this work. Who is a better friend? Who is more blank? And you can put any character trait you want there. Who changed the most? So let's take a look at this. So I'm going to pick two books, and you're going to do the same thing today. You're going to pick two different books, and it can be any of these four. Because of Winn-Dixie, Diamond Daniel, Each Kindness, Indian Shoes, and it can be any characters from those books that you want to compare. So let's see. I'm going to talk about Ray and Opal, and I'm comparing Because of Winn-Dixie and Indian Shoes. Who is a better friend? I can definitely find information in Because of Winn-Dixie to support the fact that Opal is a better friend. And in Indian Shoes, I can really prove that Ray is a better friend to his grandfather. Who is more, and I picked creative here, because I think I can definitely find evidence to show when Opal is creative and how Ray is creative. I mean, Ray gives his shoes away to be the Indian shoes. Who changes the most? Opal changes the most or Ray changes the most? I can find evidence to support both of these. You know, we really saw Ray change as a character to being more caring about his grandfather, and we saw Opal change drastically, especially when she started to let go of the sadness around her mom. But again, it's the evidence I find in my text that's going to help me support it. But when I go to write, I need to show evidence that proves, if I'm picking Opal, that Opal is better. And I need to make sure I at least mention that she's better than Ray and pull a little bit of information from Indian Shoes. So your turn. You're going to go off and write now. And before you do, I want to take you through some sentence starters. A great way to open your writing today is using this first one here. My position is that. You need to tell us what your position is. Is it one of these questions, or did you come up with something on your own? I'd recommend sticking with these since this is our first time debating two sides. One part that shows this is say the part and say why. Find me that important information in the text. Another part that shows this is say the part and say why. So make sure you're really pulling that evidence from the text. A few more helpful transitions for you. Try to work these phrases into your drafting today. In the beginning, in the middle, at the end. For example, also, in addition, and the text says. And you can come back to this video and take a look at those transition words again if you need to. Let's take a look at what your notebook pages are going to look like today. So you're going to open up to session 15 in your notebook. Writers take up debate positions to argue with passion. And again, I reminded you of the 4 books you are choosing from today. So the first thing you're going to do, go ahead and do that right now, is circle the 2 books that you think you're going to work on today. Great. Now down below, some question stems you can debate. The who is a better friend, who is more blank, who changed the most. If you're going to do the character trait one, go ahead and write a character trait in there. If you want to come up with your own question, you've got a little space right here to write it. But go ahead now, either write your own question or circle the question that you're going to talk about. I'll give you a second. Great. Now it does also say make sure to back up your claims with evidence if you need to. You have this slide that's going to remind you of the books, and you do have the full text for Each Kindness and Indian Shoes if you are writing about those books. Again, you've got your sentence starters, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 pages to go draft, and then a spot to check in. We're still using our app scoring guide, so make sure you're answering the question that you picked and proving it at least 2 different ways. Off you go, writers.